அவதரித்தது. பரவசத்தில் ஆழ்ந்திட பூமி காக்கும் நித்யனை நான் வாரி அணைத்திட. பூமி காக்கும் நித்யனை நான் வாரி அணைத்திட. கருணை மலையில் அழகு கடவுள் அவதரித்தது. கருணை மலையில் அழகு கடவுள் அவதரித்தது. கடவுள் அவதரித்தது. கடவுள் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தார்.
Yes, Nithyananda, all of you. We welcome all of you to another exciting episode on Nithyananda TV. As you all know, I am Srinitya Brahmasukhananda Maharaj, and we have with us Srinitya Rajananda Maharaj. Nithyananda Maharaj. So today is another exciting topic which we are bringing to you as an extension of yesterday's topic of vegetarian lifestyle, the core lifestyle food habits which are being followed by Hindus since time immemorial, and how they are beneficial in today's world, today's time. And based on that context, we wanted to extend this whole topic and bring to you the core, the benefits of the whole KAILASA ecosystem and how beneficial it is for you. And we thought about, what is the one thing that we really want to convey to our audience today. And same thing, simply put, it means what we are trying to say is KAILASA is the best ecosystem to live in today's world, right? Be it any way you want to look at it, be it from the basics of food, basic sustenance, how you are operating in your day-to-day life, your core cognitions, each and every aspect of your life takes a completely new turn when we live in the ecosystem created by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Vatavarana Nithyananda Paramashivam. And we are going to discuss today, Maharaj, as what he himself has revealed about what is the importance of living in KAILASA ecosystem. Why is it the best place to live in today's world? Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, and yesterday we had been talking about, especially the first thing that we attend to, some of the basic things that everybody has to attend to in their life is the food they eat, and how it is very important to have the vegetarian diet to be able to maintain any spiritual experience or any initiation that is given to you. It is through the food that society enslaves us. Now, literally, all the major cities are literally food deserts, means nothing to eat is available. Understand, we all have food-like products, not food-like products, not food at all. So this is what the Supreme Pontiff has given as a revelation of food. And
actually, again and again, you brought up this point, even in the satsang which we are talking from, where we are taking this excerpt. what he shared about the food and what is the proper lifestyle, he was taking direct parallels from his own ecosystem of Tiruvannamalai, which he grew up in, which he was fortunate and blessed to be born in. And actually, he took the conscious birth. He chose that ecosystem, the best ecosystem, to be born and be groomed as an incarnation. And he was sharing how that ecosystem is the best ecosystem to live in, and that is exactly what he's reviving. And even beginning from the basic habits of food, the lifestyle of what is the right food to eat and what is not the right food to eat, directly taking parallel from the ecosystem and mapping it into today's world, the grid-based lifestyle which we are living, and literally comparing how we are living our lifestyle, what is going on in our day-to-day habits, what kind of food we are consuming, and how it is turning to be extremely harmful for us, isn't it, Maharaj?
Yes, Maharaj. And this very important of Hinduism again brings us to the alarming information and news about how so early in a person's lifetime they'll be exposed to the habits of alcohol and drug abuse,
Yes.
and also how we really just like how they're exposed to the non-vegetarian food.
Yes.
And he gives an example saying that in Tiruvannamalai itself there used to be one non-vegetarian hotel and everybody never went to it. They always stayed away from it, and see, it is always a kind of a nobody treated that hotel as a main shop spot that it was. That it is not supposed to be, especially in an ecosystem, especially inside an enlightened ecosystem. It will just be something that is by mistake there, I would say. And then basically all of these habits are tamasic in nature, like the consumption of marijuana and heroin and addictive items. You must you see ghost means which means it eats its body parts.
Oh yes, I remember this analogy. Basically, Paramashiva himself, he reveals in the Agama, in the how the different types of personalities and people who are addicted to this kind of the drugs and extremely tamasic food or food-like things that we want to say, right? Like drugs and alcohol and this and that. When people are consumed and addicted to these things, when this becomes a lifestyle, they're categorized as ghosts by Paramashiva. They're literally manifesting the bodies and the thought currents of ghosts, those beings who are addicted to drugs. Now, what does he really mean by ghosts? That's what we are explaining. Right?
Yeah.
What does Paramashiva mean when he says that those people are literally living like ghosts?
It means that a person who is addicted to these illegal drugs, they are literally eating their own body parts, literally eating away at their life, at the internal, the very life of their internal organs, very life of their nervous system, of their liver, and all of these internal organs. And just to get a psychological kick out of this whole thing, it may, or a neurological kick out of the whole thing, they eat away at their body, and this way they as Paramashiva categorizes them, they're categorized as ghosts.
Because direct analogy that anti-life, negative habits, like life, negative thought currents, and even ghosts, they don't really possess the body. Literally, the body negation is happening in the ghost. Same way in the people who are addicted to these drugs and extremely tamasic, life negative substances. And that's how they literally are eating their body each and every day, part by part, bit by bit, their whole body is decaying, decomposing. That's why he is bringing out this extremely alarming analogy. But it has become, or is about to become, the lifestyle, right? The kind of the level at which this whole penetration of drug abuse, this whole industry, we can say, underground industry is happening, even in our cities, in all the way to our villages also. It's a very dangerous sign which we have to look into, how this is slowly seeping into our day-to-day lifestyle. From a very young age, we are seeing our kids being exposed to these things, and in the worst situation, kids also becoming addicts to these things. What may start initially as just an experimentation, doesn't remain as an experimentation for long. It becomes a habit, and that's exactly where the whole destruction and life negation happens in the individual, which is how slowly the next generation is getting completely taken over by this life negative thought currents, which is very dangerous for the whole planet Earth. That's exactly what the Supreme Pontiff is trying to again and again emphasize on. The entire ecosystem which we are living in this whole free-based lifestyle, whatever outer world lifestyle that we are living in, is becoming more and more life negative and being taken over by the all the wrong choices, wrong in the sense of life negativity, anti-spiritual, anti-evolution, and literally killing ourselves physically, psychologically, and spiritually. That's how our habits have become, be it food, be it anything else, even our practices, day-to-day thoughts, the way we are thinking, so much of violence we are cherishing, right? Even it's not just the food, right? Whatever we are consuming through entertainment, whatever we are consuming through media, all this is also food. And even in that, you see a very clear pattern of life negation. We're literally eating life negativity day in and day out. Exactly. That's also, we could call it as a ghost kind of a lifestyle, right? Just eating violence again and again, even through other means. That's how the whole ecosystem is getting destroyed on the planet Earth today. And that's exactly why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is emphasizing the need and the urgent need for creating an enlightenment ecosystem for people to get back to their roots, conscious roots, and align to their true purpose of life.
Yes, Maharaj. So it is the tamo rajasic is that is the non-vegetarian kind of lifestyle, and that also is the basic kind of lifestyle that you just explained that causes all of the dreaded drug addiction. So it is like uh, people feed off each other's negativity, and that is actually the situationship that we are seeing in the world today. Is that the other between there is no connection between the person. Maybe there are some situationships that are life positive and can contribute to. But if your situationship or your relationship with someone is coming to a place where someone is abusing a particular substance and they have to continuously have it, then it is like something there. We have to know that there is something inside of us, that we are responsible for that person to be able to go to an extent of abusing themselves and hurting themselves. So that is also in the same way a way to look into ourselves and see where it is we are doing the same to ourselves. So the way that we heal ourselves from these relationships is also through the process of just healing yourself and attending to the unattended parts of yourself. So when we do the Paramashivam programs, which we are happy to announce that the sessions right now are free for anyone who wants to join, immediately you can go to the link below that is presented for the Mahaparameshivam sessions that are going on every day. You can connect to Kailasa, you can have the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and you can join the session and learn about all of these kind of topics, and especially on how the very teachings can become a part of your life.
Exactly. And I would take that to even one step further, because when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was sharing about this whole need of creating the right ecosystem, how people have to start living in the right ecosystem, and it's only the right ecosystem which can bring people back to the real, how we are supposed to live. And that's what one point which came up again and again was the only way to do it is to live with the Guru. That's it. Guru Shishya Parampara. Because that's how entire science of Hinduism, it's not just about, practicing some good thoughts and, some affirmations and this and that. All these are fine. But ultimately, the real change in our life will happen only when we take a very strong decision to change our ecosystem and literally give ourselves a breakthrough. Because big change will happen only with big decisions. And the best decision which we can take, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also again and again emphasizing, is to live in Kailasa, to be a citizen of Kailasa. That's exactly what he's pointing to here. And in this whole, whatever we are sharing today, the main point that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is bringing again and again is that Hinduism is fundamentally Guru Shishya Parampara, nothing else, not just a bunch of philosophies or some books which you can read and start practicing. No, you have to sit and live in the vicinity of the Guru, close proximity to your master. That is exactly how the whole transmission of knowledge, the whole transmission of the right muscle memory and biomemory will happen for you to manifest the highest truths which are given in the Vedas and Agamas. And in today's world, unfortunately, whatever we are discussing, right, the grid-based lifestyle, the kind of the community which we have developed on planet Earth for human civilization, it does not allow that. even the Supreme Pontiff Hinduism put it very bluntly in one of the satsangs that all the cities have literally become like open prisons. People are caught in whatever is being fed to them. Even our gossips are not ours anymore, right? It's just what some people, very few people decide what people, normal people, common people are supposed to gossip about. And that's exactly what that's going on again and again through media, through entertainment, and through all the means, especially by food, because whatever food we see today is not really food. It's just food-like products, right? That's also what Swami shared. Anything that we see around us, and we don't even have a choice. Let's say I'm living in some city, right? And I see all these, the food which is infested with chemicals, pesticides, and not organic at all. And I want to, do something about it. But where will I grow my own food? People don't even have enough land to live on, right? They're even sharing the apartments, and so much of this is there. But where is the opportunity? Where is the chance? The current grid-based lifestyle just does not give us the opportunity to live the right kind of lifestyle, the right based on the actual existential truths, how we are supposed to live. The human beings who have come down to planet Earth to manifest our highest purpose, which is enlightenment. What is to be done to live that lifestyle? That is exactly what right is. And that's what Paramashiva has given in proper manual in Vedas and Agamas, what we are supposed to do, what we are supposed to not do. And the best way to do that is to live in the vicinity, proximity of the Guru in his ecosystem and do that. But in today's world, unfortunately, it's not possible. That's why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has created the Kailasa nation, because a nation with proper structure and legal legitimacy and protection is needed to create an ecosystem for people to live this kind of a lifestyle. And only in this ecosystem is it possible for people to really thrive and experience all these truths in real life. And to, even before taking the decision, we might have the doubt that, is it really the right thing for me? Is it too big? The promise seems to be too big. Should I do it or should I not do it? The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives you an opportunity to taste it in your own house, in your own bedroom. The experience of Mahaparamashivaham, that is enlightenment experience, and the gifts which he is bringing, he gives you the glimpse, he gives you the taste for you to see and really settle with the cognition that all of this that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing is in fact real. And the moment you experience it yourself, taking this decision to manifest it further in the full capacity and enrich others to also do it will not be too difficult for you, and simply shifting that ecosystem will be just a piece of cake. So even for that, just for that initial taste, if you want to have it, we would like you to sign up for the Mahaparamashivaham program. The QR code is being projected at the bottom of the screen. Please scan the QR code, fill the intention form, and we will reach out to you shortly. And just bless yourself, enrich yourself with this experience of the happening of incarnation of Paramashiva in your own life, and see how this world's difference in the ecosystem, how Kailasa is actually the best place for you to live on planet Earth. And it is in fact the only place for you to live, for human beings to live and thrive and literally manifest Paramadvaita experience and live life to the fullest, know life, what life is, and for what life is. All of this is possible in the right ecosystem today, in today's world, which is the Kailasa nation. Yes, again, we come back to the topic and emphasizing it from all the dimensions, from all aspects. You can bring in more aspects of how this whole contrast of the Hindu civilization, especially the Guru's ecosystem, how that is essential, how that is needed for us today in today's humanity, for us to really come out of this matrix-based lifestyle which we are stuck in.
Yes.
Right?
So there are many people who, as the Supreme Pontiff has told, that 20% of the people find it very distasteful in the world to live as a part of the grid. They are finding their ways out, going out of the grid and finding a more agricultural based, or just living in the woods kind of lifestyle. That is because as a result of a distaste to society. Unfortunately, when they go out, they don't understand that going back to the roots kind of thing is lifestyle that is most empowering, most enriching, and most economically friendly for anyone. They will be able to do that is why Hinduism is presenting that kind of going back to the roots kind is revival that Kailasa is promising. It is in the Kailasa ambience that we have successfully being to help so many people come out of this Maya matrix of understanding about the basics of food, the quality, different quality. Affects the body and how that affects the pineal gland, specifically our ability to do third eye manifest power manifestation, and then the tamo-rajasic non-vegetarian food, and then the rajo-tamasic plastic food, literally something that is processed to a level of refined to a level of just being able to last forever. And that is not the quality of food. Food has its life cycle, and you need to naturally let it if it is gone bad, it is something you have to throw away, something that you have to give it back to another organism that is going to be able to consume it. That is a natural
3
system.
hours is the time, right? If I'm not mistaken. Agama says, I think it is 3 hours. More beyond 3 hours, you're not supposed to eat the food which you're cooking.
Yes.
Now, what happens to all the baked and preserved food that we're eating?
Yes.
Months and all, I don't know how long do we preserve all that?
Yes, it is something so that they thought it is a thought that doing this kind of a decision in creating food that can last longer, people thought that they could be richer, they'll be more wealthy, but in fact that has just bound them to being extremely unhealthy. And as a result, you have these kind of foods only that is in ample around the world, but not able to be distributed. And it is full of the pesticides and fertilizers and things that preservatives that make the food last longer. And when the food lasts so long, it is not supposed to have that much of it. It is because it is a refined thing, something that you can say is a tomato is fresh, but when it comes to having the tomato, it comes in the form of a bottle as a sauce, so that when it comes, you can see that it is meant to be lasting longer. And in that case, you have these chemicals going on in your system, especially the chemicals that give you immediate sense gratification, like the plastic food that the society gives, the sugar and all of these chemicals are just there to for the advertisement that it will give you an instant gratification of a sugar high for an instant taste or a kick. But the food is in this way just commercialized and made only having a long shelf life. And then when even another problem that the world faces is because of this long shelf life, food is there for so much time, but the consumption of it isn't as fast. So people want to live outside of this kind of a grid, and they're going back to the agriculture. It is only in Hinduism and the revival that Kailasa is doing that going to back to the way that the agricultural land should just be attended to, how the cows should be attended to, what are the variety of vegetables and what type of land you can make. All of these are there inside of the Agama, describing so much of detail on how to literally live an eco-friendly world and in an eco-friendly life in the world today. Also, it can be applied.
Yes. In fact, we see in small chunks, and we see some of these things which are being adopted today. It's a good sign. But to what extent is this happening? Like, for example, the organic farming movement, right? What do we see? Do we see really the replication of the entire ecosystem in the Hindu ecosystem? Oh, also, one more important thing, the whole organic farming, the whole concept, which people might not know, is basically the traditional Hindu agricultural system. It's not anything new. But the idea got stolen from the Hindu, where the entire Hindu community got stolen, taken from to the West, rebranded as the organic farming movement, and then now it is being commodified in a way. And this commodification happening of this and being sold in the form of a new product. That's all, right? But where is the ecosystem? Where are the roots? Where is the grounding? Where are the all occurrences that are happening that really make that ecosystem happen, right?
Yes.
And also one more important thing, entire organic farming movement today is happening in the West, same West, but the fertilizers which are being made and manufactured in the West are given back, exported to India, from where this whole movement is coming. So from where the organic farming has been traditionally practiced, there people are consuming all the chemicals, all the pesticides, all the fertilizers, everything, all the whole junk, the garbage which is getting exported to India, and the main concept of organic farming is being exported from India to the West and being sold as a new product, so to speak. But is this really the way out? In the today's great lifestyle, even this commodification is not enough. Even this is just another brand which is being created, unfortunately. The real organic farm, going back to what it even fundamentally is, the Indian agricultural system, no chemicals, no fertilizers, everything grown properly in your own land, the land which you walk in, that because earth is not an inanimate, non-living thing. She is Devi herself, right? Bhuma Devi, that's what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also said. She is living energy. She is intelligence itself. The land which we walk on, barefoot especially, the natural intelligence grows in that land as the food products, as whatever we need. We may have any deficiency, nutrients. The same food is grown. She grows the same food for us to eat. So all these things are fundamentally Hindu cognitions which have been protected and preserved in the whole Hindu ecosystems, the Enlightenment ecosystem. And that's only how the entire community, we incarnations after incarnation and geniuses that happened. It's only because of this ecosystem, and everything that A to Z, all 100% of this ecosystem has to be preserved as it is. You cannot take some part of it, brand it as some product, and then start selling it. It will not do its job. It may do some job superficially, but that's exactly not how it's supposed to be done. Fundamentally, the whole ecosystem needs to be revived. Even in these small things, it shows the depth from which the ecosystem is in fact operating. For example, in Nithyananda ecosystem, each and everything, even the words that people were using, even their gossips were revolving around the whole temple ecosystem, the temple lifestyle. It's in these details where God really resides, isn't it?
Yes.
That's exactly what really shows the ecosystem, how people are operating, how people are living their lifestyle. Anything you want to add to that? Because food is one, lifestyle is another. So many aspects we can touch just to bring out this difference in the ecosystem, the lifestyle which people are living.
So yes, Maharaj, the British studied the Indian system. They studied the eco-Hindu system and saw that it is very self-sufficient. And that is why even the way that the whole roads and the whole pilgrimage structure is made, the whole from the north of India, from Kashi to all the way to the south to Kanyakumari, the roads are built because people do pilgrimage from north to south. We have had already the system of traveling up and down, the whole mixing was there. And because of that, we were able to move food up and down continuously. So food was always readily available from whichever part of the country you want. Food, medicine, emergency services, like if there was a cyclone, how to go and attend immediately. Of course, in those days, of course, they would also have. So then those are all self-sustaining units. So then anyway, they because of the pilgrimages provided the roads, anyway that immediate emergency support had to go from one place to another when there may be even an epidemic or any pandemic kind of situation, even that time, how to go handle it. There was an organized system of just transportation to move the things around, because we were an advanced civilization. And that is a fact, in just to be able to see how the population just moves around efficiently. And then food-like products are not food, and they will do a lot of damage to our bodies physically and make us into having the gunas and the rajasic and tamasic gunas that it is that will not support us in our spiritual life, will not support us towards our realization of our true purpose. And these are the cognitions that we celebrate. And in fact, one more point I wanted to add, Maharaj, is that the ecosystem that you create around you also is how you start it off. If you make the personal decision yourself that you are going to have a vegetarian diet, that you want to work more on learning how to be more self-sustaining in your life, you need to learn how to enrich everyone around you to have the same. Unfortunately, the way that we even deal with these kind of sudden changes in the whole Maya matrix, when somebody has this a realization and revelation in their life that the life they're living, they can start living off the grid, living away from all of the dangerous kind of foods, dangerous kind of habits. They don't have to be around that. When one person awakens to that, the problem is that everyone around them doesn't understand the speed at which they are raising, and they're raising out and coming out of the Maya matrix. The beautiful thing is in the Mahaparamishram programs, we learn how we are a reflection of everything around us. We may be the leaders that the Paramashiva has chosen to place in our particular units, and we learn that what we change inside will really manifest outside. So we have to be continuously saying that the world around us is going to be with us. The people around us are going to be a part of our life, and we have to do so much to support them and make them also start making these lifestyle changes along with us. It is not an individual journey that we do. We always have to, as soon as we have a determination to start the vegetarian diet, to start the ahimsa lifestyle, the cruelty-free lifestyle, we need to immediately have the discussion with the near and dear ones and say, you also have to join us. You should be on board. And the way to have that conversation, and even to understand why others around us are important, is because when you make these conversations happen, when you do these things, you are taking responsibility for those everyone around you, and also in that way creating the Kailasa ecosystem, the enlightened ecosystem around you. So that conversation needs to begin, and it can begin when you join today. The free program, the session is there, already available for anyone to join. Just go to the link below and get to know how to join into the session right away and get to know more about the program, because it is in this ecosystems that we learn how to mend our thoughts to be able to be contributing to the world. And that is one of the key things that is Hinduism. And in fact, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, we're not just Hindus, we're not just about keeping currency current, we're also about contributing. Let's forget about the whole math of it. We are only about giving continuously. And there are so many things that are there in the Kamikagama, that are there in the scriptures that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving, that tell us how to exactly get there and be there. You'll understand comes from the basic decisions on your very relationships with the plants that you have around your life. Just see how it is. Then you'll understand. Have the garden, how grow your own food, grow 1 or 2 plants. Then you'll have an understanding how you didn't have such an opportunity earlier in your life. How now only you'll be able to start going back to, as you said, Maharaj, treating the Bhuma Devi as mother. And how I have that beautiful connection with it, and grow the plants and see how she responds to you, how she creates the environment. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism always says that you should walk with the bare feet as much as you can, because the earth around the Bhuma Devi is very intelligent. She can take the very needs of a person. She can sense, as a mother does, sense the very needs of a person and provide the same kind of nutrition, same kind of medicine or just food value back to you, just because she knows. And if you just walk barefoot and live around with nature more and more in your life, you'll find that what grows around in your life, in your neighborhood or in your house, will be exactly what you need for healing yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Because even when we see today in today's world, the developments that are happening in the large scale, the global scale, United Nations, whatever stands they are taking, sustainability goals, more eco-friendly, creating a more eco-friendly economy, humanity, all these things that we are tending towards and that we are moving towards. It's essentially already there in the whole Hindu ecosystem. The Hindu environmentalism is much more broader concept than even the modern day environmentalism. Whatever we understand is the eco-friendly nature and whatever it is, the relationship between man and nature, how it has to be. Even now, the cognitions that we are carrying, we are evolving at a rapid pace in our understanding and taking decisions to mend our ways, whatever damage we have done. But even then, the core cognitions are still at a very superficial level when it comes to who we are. And to understand the whole nature, entire Prakriti itself is Devi, she's mother, right? And a living being, and in which having an independent intelligence itself, who responds to us. This way of cognizing is still not there even in the Western thought current, or in the global thought current, so to speak. So even if we are moving towards this whole concept of environmentalism, protecting our environment and protecting our relationship with our environment, going back to the Hindu thought current, the Hindu ecosystem, greatly contribute and add to this whole eco-friendly movement that is happening all over the world, especially in the developed countries today. Hinduism has so much to offer in this realm, in this field of how to create a more sustainable ecosystem, economically, environmentally, socially as well, politically, in all the aspects. Because even in one aspect, if it's not sustainable, it cannot be sustainable overall. It will have its own ripple effect and destroy the stability of the other aspects of the society as well. So having stability and sustainability in all the aspects, that is fundamentally what the whole Hindu ecosystem is all about. And that's what the entire Kailasa nation concept, the whole revival that the Supreme Point of Hinduism is doing, is reviving the ancient enlightenment ecosystem, stability of this ecosystem, reviving it again on planet Earth, so that people can enjoy all the benefits and they can again start manifesting their full potential, their possibilities, their powers.
Yes, Manoj. And even it is inclusive of all the beings as well. And the signs of being able to know whether you're around in a very clean air, just basically what is the quality of the air that you breathe. It is also measured in Hinduism. How it is told is it is measured by the beings that you see, whether it is the honeybees that have smallest, or the sparrows. They have the smallest and most sensitive lungs that really need to have very clean, pure oxygen air, and you cannot survive in a maybe in a city kind of a situation, because they have such small sensitive lungs. And you can see in many of the Kailasa ecosystems, the sparrows and all of these bees and all, they grow, they live and they thrive beautifully. And the way that you can even cleanse, the Supreme Point of Hinduism says and brings out the truth that in the Agamas, the mango flower, tying the mango flower, the neem flower, and the rice paddy, that are tying all of these and hanging them on your door frames. This will be literally a way to bring the sparrows and bring these small animals back to your life, and they do the work of literally cleansing and doing so much in just their breathing, contributing to the very prana of the air and bringing the new found breathing space that you want. And you can see that in many of the cities, but many situations that people live in, this kind of an air is impossible. And this is and then people come to our Bengaluru in Adi Kailasa. When they come there, they get to see the fresh breath of air, and they see literally a spectacle of all of animals and all the beings living together in harmony. And in that way, all the cows and everyone comes together, and they just provide again back to the life force in the air, the very prana in the air. It's just heightened, and that is how the ecosystem is. And everybody appreciates also. They always want to go on a vacation on the weekend, just to go get a breath of fresh air. But that is unfortunately become something that becomes a vacation. That is not how it should be. You shouldn't have to torture yourself for 5 days and put your lungs through so much of torture and so much of chemical and toxicity for 5 days a week just to have a weekend where you can be relieved from this. It is completely confusing. Why would you have a life where you vacation away so you can actually take a breath? That doesn't make sense at all. Living a lifestyle where you are able to deeply breathe and trust that the breath you're taking is going to give you so much of nourishment in many different levels. That is the Hindu lifestyle. That is the Vedagamic lifestyle that the Supreme Point of Hinduism is bringing out in Agamas.
In fact, when you were speaking, when you introduced the concept of other beings, first thing that came to my mind was beings from other dimensions.
Yes.
Not even just animals, right?
Yeah.
We have to have an ecosystem where beings from other dimensions, other planes of existence, just simply can walk in, just there can be a easy traffic, because Hindu civilization, it doesn't treat for Hindus basically entire cosmos is one family, one existence, right? There is no concept of aliens. For example, in the West, we have concept of aliens, right? People from other extraterrestrial beings from other planets or other planes of existence. They come and they, visit the planet Earth. You call them aliens. For Hindus, it's not even that. For Hindus, from time immemorial, there has been a free flow of traffic from beings from all the dimensions coming to planet Earth, and people from planet Earth, beings from planet Earth, not just human beings, all beings, other beings also, going to the other planes, visiting them and coming back. This whole lifestyle has been a part of Hindus. All Puranas, whatever they are talking about, is not mythology, right? It is his history, it is real Hindu history. And how it connects to today's topic is we need to have an ecosystem, right? Rich in enriching and healthy ecosystem for beings from other dimensions to even come. Why will they visit our ecosystem if we are just torturing them, right?
Yes,
We are torturing ourselves also. Why will anyone else come? When we create a proper ecosystem and we are healthy, physically, mentally, spiritually, and living in a completely blissful ecosystem, all the beings from all the dimensions would love to simply come and enrich because they are waiting to enrich us, right? They are all blissful beings from all higher planes who are full of compassion, knowledge, enlightenment experience. That's how the whole Hindu ecosystem really evolves into the ecosystem where even gods reside. That's what Kailasa is. Kailasa is an ecosystem of gods, not just of human beings. That's fundamentally comes from these lifestyle changes, stark, proper, and strong lifestyle decisions which beings are taking to manifest the higher potential of their life and to align with what is right, not just what is pleasant. Unfortunately, in today's grid-based lifestyle, we are being caught by this whole concept of being pleasant, right? And that's what the whole trap is really about. If we just decide, let's do what is right. First, let's understand what is right, and then do it. Take the decision to align to what is right. Entire life becomes pleasant as well, without really being focused on being pleasant. And that's exactly what the Supreme Founder of Hinduism is sharing his gift to the whole humanity, giving the right cognitions, the powerful cognitions, the existential truths directly from Paramashiva, revived by his incarnation, the Supreme Founder of Hinduism himself, the powerful cognitions, make you understand what is right, what is wrong. Where have you gone wrong? Where have you gone astray from your true being, from the manifestation and expression of your highest possibilities, and how to complete with that, how to remove all the powerlessness from you and align you back to your own inherent what is the word? Fundamental core existence of Paramashiva that you really are. How to manifest that. That is what the Supreme Founder of Hinduism is here to give to the whole humanity, and that's what he's reviving in the Kailasa ecosystem.
Yes, Maharaj. And even the Supreme Pontiff even talks about the man's best friend, as we always like to say in the Western countries, man's best friend, is the friendly dog or the canine that you live with. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism tells that in the Hindu lifestyle, the stray dogs and the concept of stray dogs is not even a cognition, because you keep food outside the house for them in the Hindu lifestyle, and then they take care of you. They're literally the same way that they are taken care in any other place, in any other kind of lifestyle. The dogs are taken care by. We take whatever food is left over, whatever food is special for that we need to that they can have, that the food is created for them. And that is why the Supreme Pontiff even says that they would not need to have any separate dog food store and these kind of different interesting ideas. The dogs are a part of our life. They take care of us. They warn us. They do it so much to us, just like how everyone celebrates dogs and cats in their lives as a friend. And that friendliness is always there inside the ecosystem.
These animals, they've been a part, they are a part of the whole Hindu lifestyle. Not just dog, we keep food for dogs, we keep food for crows as well. All the different animals on different occasions, we keep for different animals. This whole rich lifestyle is it's so joyful to live a proper Hindu lifestyle. And even in my personal experience as I was growing up, right, in my whole lifestyle, the trajectory went from a small town to a little bigger town all the way to the city. And I saw this whole progression of when we reached the whole level of the city, there was hardly any dog to even go give food to. Unfortunately, there are no animals, just some stray dogs that people don't really attend to. That's why they are stray dogs, even called stray dogs, right? As you said, the whole concept. But that whole, the ecosystem is completely missing in the city. It's completely been destroyed, I would say. That's exactly why the people we see so many problems in the cities, that feeling of not grounded. Sense of belongingness is not there, high rates of depression, all these anxieties and loneliness which people face, all these things are coming basically because of this whole absence of that rich Hindu ecosystem, which has completely been destroyed on the planet Earth. The whole history of how the Hindu civilization got reduced from 56 nations to just a small restricted piece of land in the current present day humanity, on the present day earth. The whole history of the Hindu genocide, it's a testimony to the fact of how the enlightenment ecosystem itself was destroyed by the anti-spiritual forces who are still keeping the humanity as their slaves in the form of this grid, so that even the food that you want to eat, the right food, you have no option. If the right entertainment, if you want to enjoy, you don't have an option. The right media, you don't have an option. Anything, the right lifestyle, right kind of relationships, I don't know, you don't have an option. So that is the whole thing. You don't even, people are not even left with an option to choose the right. That is the kind of slavery which we are talking about, unfortunately. And the only way to the remedy of this is to revive the Hindu, the ancient enlightenment ecosystem, the Hindu ecosystem, which is fundamentally being, which is centered around Hindu gurus and incarnations who are responsible for keeping the Hindu ecosystem alive, who have kept the whole Hindu civilization alive for thousands and thousands of years, when all other civilizations have been destroyed. That's how the whole humanity has been reduced to this whole grid-based lifestyle, only one kind of thought current and only one kind of product. And that the whole whatever the human beings have caught in today's world is because the whole ancient enlightenment ecosystems have been destroyed, and that is why there is a need to revive the whole enlightenment ecosystem in today's humanity. And all these examples are just some civilizational differences which we are bringing and putting in front of all the people to see and to compare and relate how simple decisions to change and align to the right lifestyle can make a complete shift in our life.
Yes, Maharaj. So, and the cities have become as you said, a large prisons, and just a few people decide what you eat, what kind of medicines you'll have, and those only will be available. Exactly. How difficult it is to find in nowadays things that are organic, things that are Ayurvedic, things that are natural medicines, alternative medicine. You have to go to some corner, some part, and do some research and find out how to get these things. In Hinduism, it is directly next to your house itself, inside your house itself, you have someone who's the doctor who trained in this, and they'll just give you the medicine in that. That is actually the experience even in many of the Hindu households nowadays. Unfortunately, keeps a lot of us healthy, because by nature we have kept our medicines for ourselves. Yes. And it is part of our family to have one or two people who just know what is the medicine, then know how the bodies work.
Exactly, because the whole today's life, it has been basically the industrial complex, right? It has the power over the entire humanity, the pharmaceutical industry, even the food industry, and how food industry and pharmaceutical industry are related. They are literally tied to each other. And we have seen how even the seeds are now getting genetically modified and patented. For in the Hindu agricultural system, you can't even think of patenting a seed and selling a seed. Seeds are free. They are meant to be free. They are a part of the whole organic movement. Even today, the seeds have to be free. Farmer has to have free access to the seeds and proper, healthy, organic seeds. But what we see today is extreme commercialization down to the level of the seed. The seed has also been enslaved. The moment you enslave the seed, whole humanity is lost. You're capturing the whole food habits of the people. You're not even allowing anyone to grow the food that they want to grow, because only the seed which will be available and you can pay for it, only that will be available in the market. Where is the whole agriculture, sustainable agriculture? Where is the whole the whole intelligence of thousands and thousands of years of evolving an organic, life-positive agricultural system? The whole thing has been destroyed by this whole enslavement by the corporate sector. Even today, so many things are being whatever points you're bringing, I'm just relating with whatever is happening in the modern world, and how the revival of the ecosystem is even getting more and more emphasized from each and every point that we are bringing. And also, you'd like to invite all the viewers to share your comments, put your comment, your opinion, your questions, your doubts, anything that you
தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தனும் வந்து உதித்தான் கடங்கா மகிழ்வு கொண்டே மலை போல் வரும் துயர் யாவையும் நொடிப்போதினில் பொடியாக்கிட புயலாய் வருவான், துணையென வருவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய் செய்த தவமோ உற்ற நண்பனாய் நித்யானந்தன் வந்து உதித்தான். உடல் மாய்க்கும் நோய் வந்த போதும் உயிர் காக்கும் மருந்தாகி நின்றிடுவான். மனம் வாட்டும் இடர்கள் தீர இடம் சேர்க்கும் வார்த்தைகளை பேசிடுவான், அவன் பேசிடுவான். தலை தூக்கிடும் கருவங்களை தடம் மாற்றிட வெடிப்பான், வின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். வின் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான், தினம் கருணை மழையாய் பொழிவான். ஜென்ம ஜென்மமாய்
welcome back. Sorry for the technical glitch. So just before we end today's segment, just to wrap up what we have been speaking, the whole ecosystem that we are living today, the grid-based lifestyle is not meant to be, is not something which will give us the ultimate purpose of enlightenment. We have gone completely astray as humanity, which we need to address immediately. How each and every aspect of our lifestyle is completely become life negative, right? Starting from the very food that we eat, the kind of food habits that we are pursuing these days is tamasic, life negative. Paramashiva himself, which he speaks as ghostly in nature, right? Completely chemical infested food. So what we are discussing is how the reason behind these completely life negative ecosystem is that we have been taken away from our conscious roots, the conscious indigenous roots coming from the ancient enlightened civilization, the Hindu civilization, in which all these things were taken care of. And each of these aspects is completely tied and strengthened and emboldened by other factors. For example, food is related to a stable family. Without a stable family, you will not get proper food. It's very natural. If you see today, Maharaj, the kind of food habits being practiced in the Western world, developed countries, even the kitchen is being outsourced to the McDonald's and other restaurants, right? So where is the whole concept of having healthy food and organic food? Each of these things are completely impossible. To come back to the point, having a stable family which allows us, takes the control back of what you eat, right, from society, taking back your, reclaiming your conscious sovereignty from the grid, from the matrix, from the Maya matrix. That's how the whole evolution starts, the conscious evolution starts, and we take the decision of aligning ourselves back and creating and reviving the enlightenment ecosystem on planet Earth. And that's exactly what the supreme concept of Hinduism has taken the responsibility to do by creating the KAILASA nation, which and reviving the ancient Hindu civilizational nation on planet Earth, bringing all these powerful cognitions, lifestyle, habits, knowledge, and practices, each and everything back on planet Earth again, so that humanity can flourish and really feel the fulfillment of life, which is its very purpose and very birthright in itself. Yes. So with this, we complete today's segment on Nithyananda TV. It will be leading to the most awaited next segment, that is the Nitya Satsang, the darshan and discourse from the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. But before we lead to the next segment, let's prepare ourselves so that we are in the right space to receive the Paramavatara of Paramashiva, the living manifestation of Paramashiva, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva. So let's prepare ourselves, our bodies, our mind, and our being for the Nitya Satsang. Please sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line, with our bodies completely relaxed from head to toe. Carrying a deep of restful awareness, sense of gratitude and devotion in our Anandavanda, which is the space between the navel center and the heart center. Visualize Paramashiva in your third eye, keeping the two eyes closed, visualizing Paramashiva with bright golden light, 25 heads, 50 hands, and 75 eyes, shining in his effulgence in our third eye, and chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let the Mahavakya reverberate in our entire being, in our entire body, as we prepare ourselves to receive the supreme consciousness of Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva. Now chant the Mahavakya.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Everyone watching live on Nithyananda TV, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Enlightened app, Kailasa TV, Hinduism Now, Twitter, and two-way video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Today I have one of the greatest revelation from Kailasa, the Paramashiva Jnana and Paramashiva Vijnana. Listen, let's do our spiritual work. Today I have very beautiful revelation from Kailasa. Listen, as on now, scientists have mapped 4 forces of nature, principal forces of nature, like gravity 1, electromagnetism 2, the weak atomic power 3, the strong force 4. These 4 forces are mapped, understood by the science. Scientists are elaborating, presenting facts, understandings about these 4 forces. There is 5th force. Listen. awakened consciousness operating through the body is fifth force. Listen, I will present it properly. Paramashivatva means the Paramashiva space. The Paramashiva who is beyond form, formlessness, name, namelessness, being, beyond being, that Paramashanta Swarupa, the eternal existence, beyond even what is Purusha. That Paramashiva, when he operates through the body, is called Ishvara. When he manifests with a form, name, purpose, is Ishvara. Understand? Awakened consciousness manifesting through the body, embodied consciousness, is the fifth force. Understand? Not only I am talking from my Atma Pramana, my own experience given by my Guru Arunagiri Yogishwara, I also have Shastra Pramana taught by my Guru Panduranganar, who taught me many deeper understandings about Agama and Shaiva. I have today some of the references from Sarvajnanottara Agama and some more Agamas. I'll elaborately explain. Awakened consciousness. Understand? Engaged consciousness is not force or power. Awakened consciousness, even if it is embodied within the body, even if it is functioning inside the body, is a force, power. Understand? A Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta means embodied consciousness. Consciousness manifesting through a body. Embodied consciousness. That is a power. Strong power. I'll reveal the deeper secrets. 1. Awakening your consciousness as direct utility value in your life. Because all these four forces of nature, fundamental principle, four forces of nature, elaborated by science, gravity, electromagnetism, weak nuclear force, and strong force. All the four can be played around in any way you want by Ishwaratva. Understand? If your consciousness is excited, awakened. Excited is too small word. Awakened is the right word. If I say permanently excited, then it can be like a Rough translation. So, if your consciousness is awakened, all these four forces of nature, you can play with them. Gravity, electromagnetism, weak nuclear force, and strong nuclear force. All the four powers, four forces. Listen. Listen carefully. First revelation I am revealing today from Kailasa. Awakened consciousness can play with all the four fundamental principal forces of nature mapped by science. Electromagnetism, the weak nuclear force, and the strong force. Let me now expand properly what I mean by the word awakened consciousness. See, if you are not at all introduced to the consciousness, the existence of consciousness, you will never enjoy the life to its fullest. You will just live with these four forces and leave the body. When you are introduced to this fifth and most important power, see, consciousness itself is a power. When it is embodied and manifest through your body, it is a force. I should say fifth force of the nature is awakened consciousness working through the body. Embodied, awakened consciousness. Jivan Mukta. I can say Jivan Mukta. Understand? Shiva, Parama Shiva, when he manifests with a form, is Parameshwara. Then he can play with all the four forces. Now I want you to understand. Getting introduced about consciousness in your system, in your cognition, a new possibility opens. This is the logic or the science of the fifth power. Listen. Today I will reveal all the important truths about the science of the fifth power. 1. The space Katakasha. Listen. I'm using the word Katakasha and showing this. It means even the place where we are living, I call it as kata. Mahakasha is the open space. I'll give you this example. Listen to this example. The open space, Mahakasha, and the space inside the pot, Katakasha, because of the Jati Akasha, both are one and the same. Listen carefully. The space, open space, and the space inside the pot. Inside the space inside the pot is called Katakasha. The open space is called Mahakasha. Mahakasha and Katakasha, because of their Jati, they are one and the same. Because of their Ubadhi, they are different. Jati means by its nature they are one and the same. Ubadhi means because of their attributes they are different. If you just meditate on this one powerful cognition, your consciousness can be awakened. Listen, same way, how Mahakasha means pure space. Katakasha, the space inside the pot. These two, because of their Jati, they are one and the same. But because of their Ubadhi, attributes, they are different. Same way, Paramashiva and the soul operating in your body. Paramashiva and the soul operating in your body, both are by their Jati of consciousness one and the same. By their nature of the consciousness, they are one and the same. By their Ubadhi, attributes, they may look different. Understand? You feeling you are different from Paramashiva is disrespect to Paramashiva. You feeling you are one with Paramashiva is the respect to Paramashiva. Many times people claim, oh, if we say we are God, are we not disrespecting God? You are wrong. Only politician will feel threatened if you say you are him, you are same or you are equal, you are one with him. God does not. Understand? The nature of God is consciousness. By Jati, you are one with Paramashiva. Only by Upadhi, the attribute, there is difference. Understand? If you understand this powerful truth, this can help you to play with gravity, electromagnetism, the weak nuclear force and the strong force, all four. This can help you to strategize and win in all situations of life. Understand? When your consciousness is awakened, the first thing happens to you is you become absolutely dharmic and fearless. That is why a common strategist, however brilliant or sharp he may be, he might have lived around me for years, but he will not know what kind of a strategy and decision I will play when. He will not know. Now I am revealing this secret. Understand? I am absolutely dharmic, just to Mahakala Bhairava. I can stand in front of his Trishul and say, Prabhu, I am integrated to you. Absolutely dharmic and absolutely fearless. I will give everything in charity. Anything I have, anybody asks, in charity I will give. But not a single penny out of integrity for any blackmail or threatening or any non-integrated reasons. Listen, I'll be absolutely caring, loving, compassionate. Even the people who abuse me, attack me, only say, oh, he will shout at people to do yoga. Understand? He will yell at everyone to do yoga. Hey, don't you understand? I love you. I always tell people, as long as you stay with me, as many days as you stayed in Adinam, I just want to make sure I am contributing to your life. Even at some point you leave, you know that the time you spent here, I've given my best, everything I can. That's all. I am not soft-spoken cheat. I am straight, simple Indian village guru. We don't know to cheat, hide. We absolutely care, and love people. Love human beings. I love you, but not your laziness. And laziness does not do good to you. Understand? All these multi-level various types of attacks, everything. I'll do only one thing. I'll just sit in samadhi, inhale and exhale intense love to the universe. Inhale all the negativity and clean it up, digest it, clean it up. That's the way Paramashiva clears it. If you take it to Paramashiva, it just gets cleared. Exhale pure positive energy, pure love. I can tell you, even people who attack me, who vomit negativity, vengeance, anger, I do not hate them. That part which is violent, I send deep, intense healing to that part and just it settles down. I tell you, every time this huge negativity is heaped on me, that's all I do. Sit in samadhi, inhale everything, burn, everything disappears, and exhale intense love and positivity. I have seen always this works. Understand one thing. This is the science of handling any problem in your life. I will never hate a person. I will never call a person enemy if he does one or some acts against me. I'll be very clear. Which part is attacking me or my Sangha, and why it is attacking? I'll just send a deep love energy to that part, and that part will be healed, and that's it, over. This is the way I have handled all these attacks on me. This absolutely heals. I tell you, fundamentally, when your consciousness is awakened, when you have power over all these four forces, you become responsible. A child throwing tantrum, you cannot shoot the child. No. You become responsible for the child. Hey, he's throwing tantrum, okay. Try to support, try to help, try to heal, try to cool. You can't shoot a child because he's throwing tantrum for a biscuit. No, that's not right. You need to just cool and heal the child and make things work in a peaceful way. Understand? You need to make the child understand, hey, that biscuit has sugar, that may not be good for your health. Why don't you have something else? Have jaggery, have natural, that Indian jaggery, which has no health hazards, which is healthy, and have organic food, and try to educate. You guys need to understand the importance of right food. Understand? When I heard from the kids that they have been terrorized, abused, harassed by all the lies, shocks, psychologically, everything, I said, don't worry, because all that does not take away the powers of kids. Actually, Kalabhairava will punish all those people who terrorized my kids. Listen carefully. But if the kids are made to eat non-organic food, force-fed, sugar, non-organic, non-vegetarian food, the kids will lose power. Because the body is too important for consciousness to function in its full awakened state. Understand? A dull, sleeping consciousness does not need a yogic body. But an awakened consciousness needs yogic body to function fully. That is why that day, when I heard what all our kids went through, I was not at all bothered about this psychological trauma and all that. I said, of course, it is wrong. It is really too much of wrong done to kids. But that and all will not shake their powers. Actually, the people who terrorized my kids, Kalabhairava will deal with them. Kalabhairava will really punish them because it is directly trying to attack Kalabhairava. So Kalabhairava will deal with them. That's different. But feeding the kids, force feeding them, even after they tell that we will not eat anything from outside, breaking their religious vows and religious freedom, force feeding them with sugar or non-organic, non-vegetarian, that kind of any food. Not only non-organic, non-vegetarian, even the food which is not prasada, means which is not offered to Paramashiva, even that food is not right food. For a practicing Hindu, offered food is the only food we should eat. That is our diet. Force feeding that kind of a food, non-veg, non-organic, non-prasad, means non-consecrated, force feeding, that takes away the powers of the kids. Understand? You need to understand the truth. Consciousness does not have rules, but when it manifests through the body as a force which can play with all the other four forces, it has its own logic, science and fundamental rules, like Sankhya of the powers. See, pure consciousness of Paramashiva has no rule. When it manifests through your body as an awakened consciousness, your body needs to have certain principled life. It needs to have certain structured principled life. We call it yogic life, Charyapada, Paramashiva lifestyle. Understand? I was more bothered and concerned about that force feeding and breaking the religious vows and religious freedom than anything else. Let me explain how this awakened consciousness can play on all the four forces. Listen. One by one. One, understand Paramashiva and your soul, both by their jati of consciousness, one and the same. By their upadhi, you are having the attribute of your body and your mind. He is having the attribute of cosmic body and cosmic mind. Maybe because of the attributes you may look different, but by jati, by the core truth of consciousness, you both are one and the same. Understand this as first. Paramashiva loves you when you say you are one and the same with him. He does not get angry. Hindu God is not political authority. Understand that only. A politician will be angry if you try to get his place. If you try to say you are equal to him. Hindu God is not politician. Is not political God. Please understand. Hindu God is very happy if you say you are one with him. And I tell you, I am standing in front of Mahakala Bhairava's Trishula. With that integrity, I tell you, by consciousness, jati, what you feel as you, and Paramashiva, that source is one and the same. Only the attributes of what you feel as you and the attributes of what Paramashiva feels as he may differ. And the good news is attributes are not truth. Attributes are like a news, comes and goes. That's not truth. Understand? Now I am very clearly, I know the science of how to save yourself from persecution and these attacks. I become, now I don't know, maybe because of so many attacks, I have learned the whole science now. Usually during all these attacks, one thing we need to know. All this abusal, screaming, hate speech, all that will not stand. Only thing you should make sure they don't get your body to play around. Eliminate or permanently damage. That is the only thing you should make sure. So many times when they got my body under their control, usually during all this chaos is created for that only. Once they get control, then they try to eliminate or permanently damage. Even all those things by the grace of Kala Bhairava, by the grace of Paramashiva, I have healed myself, recovered myself, and I am out. I am telling you this time, absolutely, with the grace of Paramashiva, because of the grace and blessings of Paramashiva and Parashakti, protection of Mahakala Bhairava and Mahakali, we are winning the game and we win the game. We will win the game. We already won, we are winning and we will win the game. That's all. Because Mahakala Bhairava is protecting us. I'll give you one simple understanding. Even now, when you meditate and cognize you are Paramashiva, the gravity in your inner space will drop. The heaviness, worrying, constant worrying feeling is gravity. Heavy, feeling heavy is gravity working on you. The electromagnetism changes immediately. See, constant fear is one kind of electromagnetic force. When you feel you are Paramashiva, it just changes. Instead of feeling, oh, will that happen? Will this happen? Will that happen? You will feel very clearly, I will make this happen. I will manifest this happen. I will make this happen in my life. Instead of being unconsciously tortured and harassed by the fears and fear instigated intuition, you will manifest consciousness, and consciousness manifested vision, and you will manifest that vision. The electromagnetic force of you will change when you know, when you cognize you are Paramashiva. I tell you, with so much of attack, I never even once had, oh, will that happen? Will this happen? No. I just know this is what I will consciously, I am consciously Paramashiva. And I will consciously manifest Kailasa. That's it. Truth and vision. Over. Understand? The weak nuclear force is your weak guts, the stomach, not able to digest what is happening in the life. If you remember, cognize you are Paramashiva, you will just be able to digest anything. You will not have mental breakdown. Understand? Amidst this whole attack, I am sitting and explaining highest principles of universe and nature to all of you. Do you all understand? It's a live satsang. And what is going on? And what is going on here? See clearly. There is no mental breakdown. Because Paramashiva is filled and Mahakala Bhairava is protecting. Strong nuclear force means the strategies you manifest and the decisions you take. Understand? The decisions you take and strategies you manifest is depend on your guts' ability to digest the life. Paramashivoham. You are Paramashiva. That's the one truth can manifest the awakened consciousness in you and change your gravity, your electromagnetic force, your weak nuclear force and strong nuclear force. All four. Embodied, conscious embodied being can play with all the four forces. Sri Chidambarananda, the cats will be enlightened. They are actually intensely listening to what I am talking. All the cats will be enlightened. They will become liberated beings. They are entering into the space of being Siddha. All of you listen. Pets who come and stay in our devotees' house as pets, even they are blessed because they get to listen to satsang and initiation. Understand? Whatever I am talking is not at all language bound. My vocal cord is excited, triggered by consciousness, Saraswati. So the language need not be understood by you. Listening makes this as a vibration and frequency inside you. That is why kids, even if they don't understand the language I am talking, the ideas get into the system and they start manifesting. And pets, even the language they don't understand what I am talking, they imbibe and manifest this as a frequency. Whether kids or pets or anyone who doesn't know the language does not matter. Because my walk is triggered by Saraswati, Parashakti, Vani. She triggers the walk. Chidambarananda, you are blessed that you are enlightening all your pets. Yes. Now let me continue with the truth. Listen. Whether you want wealth, health, whatever you want to manifest, the state, space, powers, being and consciousness of Paramashiva. Remember this one powerful cognition. You are Paramashiva by Jati. Jati matters, not Upadhi. Attributes do not matter. Your nature matters. Attributes can change by tomorrow. Attributes are like a lottery winning. Today you may have the attribute of poor man, and if you win the lottery, tomorrow you will be called as rich man. Attributes are ephemeral. Jati is eternal. The truth, the core truth is eternal. Understand, persons like me, whether we win the persecution or not, we live eternally. And because Mahakala Bhairava is protecting me, I am going to this time win the persecution also. Because Mahakala Bhairava is protecting me, not only I won, winning, going to win also. Listen carefully. This time, I am going to win in the persecution is one, because Mahakala Bhairava is protecting. Apart from the Upadhi, winning, not winning, don't bother about that now. Now you understand that Jati, the core principle of you, me, Paramashiva, is one and the same because of consciousness. And if you cognize this, you can play with all four forces: gravity, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force, strong nuclear force, all four. Very soon, I'll prove to the world, physically, gravity, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force, strong nuclear force, all four, we can play and manipulate with awakened consciousness. See, this whole power manifestation science is that only. I'll prove with more and more theories and presentations. When you start manifesting the power of levitation, you are playing with gravity. When you start manifesting the different electromagnetic energies through your system, you are playing with those forces, like you moving the matter without touching, just by consciousness. You are just playing with the electromagnetic force. So each power, when you manifest, you are playing with these four forces. Understand one thing. When you play with them with the clarity Paramashiva, I am Paramashiva, and not become egoistic, you are called Deva, God. And you think you know the business secret and you become egoistic, you become demon. That's all. Understand? Always these demons will praise Paramashiva, worship Paramashiva, as long as they get the boons and whatever they demand from Paramashiva is granted by Paramashiva. Their praising, devotion, everything is very strategic. Paramashiva, out of compassion, okay, all right, have. Not because he's cheated, out of compassion, okay, all right, have. You also eat little. And these integrated people, they get powers, everything because of their integrity. They are called gods, devatas, devas. Like my Sangha, very integrated to me. But these few demonic forces, when they get something, they try to attack this Sangha, devatas. And naturally, Paramashiva has to protect the integrated ones. Then these demonic forces, they get so angry and so deluded, they start thinking that they can attack Paramashiva himself and they try to throw tantrum. Try to attack Paramashiva. Of course, Paramashiva neither can be attacked nor can be done anything, and you can't do anything to Paramashiva. But by their anger and delusion, they destroy themselves. The demons destroy themselves. This is what is happening from the beginning until now. That's all. If you remember, jati in Sanskrit, the very word jati means genuine or true state of anything. So by jati, you, me, Paramashiva is one and the same because of consciousness. When you manifest this consciousness, unable to play with these four forces, gravity, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force, strong nuclear force, and continue to be integrated to this great truth, more and more powers manifest, more and more you can play with these forces, more and more Paramashiva blesses, more and more you become God. That's all. And Mahakala Bhairava protects you. That's all. With more and more power manifestation, I have become more and more integrated to Paramashiva. Because of that, more and more Mahakala Bhairava is protecting me. That's all. Simple truth, straightforward. And that's all I want all my disciples to do. And today I'll give you initiation into this fifth force manifestation. I'll initiate you with all these five. One, by jati of consciousness, you, me, Paramashiva is one and the same. Second, when this cognition is held inside you, your consciousness gets awakened. Third, awakened consciousness manifesting through your body helps you to play with all the four forces of nature: gravity, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force, and strong force. Fifth, listen, important. As simple integrity to Guru and simple initiation from Guru can awaken your consciousness. That's all. I'll repeat. By jati, the true state, genuine state, you, me, Paramashiva are one and the same. And by meditating and cognizing this truth, your consciousness gets awakened. Third, when the consciousness is awakened, you play with all four forces: gravity, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force, and strong force. Fourth, this power manifestation, even after it starts happening, if you continue to be integrated, more and more powers manifest and you become God, literally Devata. Fifth, just simple integrity to Guru and simple initiation by Guru awakens your consciousness and makes you manifest the fifth force and makes you as embodied consciousness, Jivan Mukta. I'll initiate all of you into all these five principles today. Make you all manifest all these four forces: gravity, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force, and strong force. Let's start the initiation. Please sit straight. Close your eyes and start connecting with Kailasa, Paramashiva, and chant the Mahavagya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Declare your simple integrity to Guru and Paramashiva. And chant the Mahavagya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham intensely.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Shivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द 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 परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. 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 Paramashivoham.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva manifest the state, space, powers, being and consciousness through all of us. There is a question here. The grand unified theory is a vision of a physics theory that can combine three of the four fundamental forces into one single equation, not even combine all four. Is consciousness that unifying the truth? Listen. Actually,